things happening. I can personally vouch for it. My checks are up too. And, most people don't think about a big person worried about their checks, but I see volume and growth is, and I'm not working much. Most people know I'm kind of semi-retired, just enjoying the residual income, but my goodness, things are exciting out here right now. It's just so many great things happening. If you haven't been a part of a company in momentum, I have. This will be my second round. I hard to believe I'm actually going to be able to say I've done it, been around it 2 times. But it's really, really hard to explain when you get a part of something that when everything is starting to happen. And Todd mentioned this call's been going for 8 years. I can promise you, I'm looking at the numbers pop in. There's more people in the waiting room than this call used to have on it 8 years ago. So guys, as we get started this morning, I want you to realize and take notes and listen. So many people say that they don't understand what to do. There's people teaching you what to do, but just plug in and learn what to do. So with that, I'm going to turn to Dr. Kristal. I hope she's been made a co-host. So I'm sure Anthony's already got that taken care of. And her and Ashley are going to talk about one of the parts of this pay plan that have really, and by the way, Ashley, just so you know, my daughter is like, she's all about it now. She's like, I got to get this part finished. Everybody keeps announcing this $10,000 check. And it's like, my daughter's like, I'm looking at her numbers every week. Won't say, what have I got to do to get this done before we get to Orlando? So Dr. Kristal, I'm going to turn it to you because I know you're so pumped about this. I mean, it's always great to be able to talk about somebody's success. So I'm going to give it to you.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, there's nothing better than seeing the people that you're working with have big wins. And so this is a massive win for Ashley. For those of you who don't know her story, her mother was actually the very first person that I enrolled when I came to Limu. Her and I sat around a table and decided to go into business together. And of course, what's the first thing you do? Your friends and family that mean the most to you, that you want them to, sorry, my screen is going crazy here. You want your friends, you want your family, you want your sons, your daughters, you want all of them to benefit from the work that you're going to go do. And so over that very first year, I'm telling you, the best thing that you can have is a downline who outworks you. Like, never be in competition with your downline. Lisa was one of those who just grabbed it and said, this is my business. And she took off and running, and Ashley was a big part of that business. And a year in to us making this run in Limu, which is not the case here, this is a whole nother benefit here. You had to reach a certain level to have your business willable. And you guys, she found out that she hit that level in the hospital, finding out that breast cancer had returned, and her whole body, it wasn't very long thereafter that Lisa passed away. And so right prior to that, Ashley accepted that. The picture that you're seeing there is Ashley accepting a check for $10,000. So what does that mean to you guys? It means that you have a business that's willable to your children. But Ashley went in there and she accepted that check for her mom. It was very difficult, and I'm going to let Ashley speak, but I wanted to take some of the emotion out of this. You guys, I know Ashley. She's a fierce competitor. She's a brilliant businesswoman. She has her mother's hustle, goes out there and does it when no one else is. But her goal was to get this $10,000 to, obviously bigger goals than this, but her number one goal that she was focused on was getting to this $10,000 check. And I know that a piece of this was, this is mine now. This is mine now. So just like you said, Kristen Doyle, her team, you all rally around her, because there is something that transitions when anyone takes ownership of their business. But when you have that outside validation, let alone how exciting. I want Ashley to talk about the future and where she is now. I kind of filled in the gaps of the past. Think about what you can do for your kids here. Your day job that you have, or your business that you own, do you have the ability for it to be residual, willable income? That 7 years from the time that she qualified for that $10,000 check, that her daughter is stepping up and getting 7,000 herself, or 10,000 herself. I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me?
We got you loud and clear, Kristal.
Okay, I'm so confused. I'm like slow-mo and people that
It's just on your side. You're perfect.
I'm like, am I talking to myself? So I want to throw it over to Brent, because Brent was a huge piece in this, where he said, you know what, let's make a rally. And
yeah, Kristal, I'm going to jump in. So can you hear me okay?
We can hear
It's
you
loud and
fine.
clear, Brent.
So I'm going to turn it to Ashley in just a second, but let me tell everybody something. The power of this is people will do more for others sometimes than they'll do for themselves. And so what happened on the week that Ashley could have waited, it could have turned into 1 or 2 weeks later, but on the anniversary of when all this took place with her mom 7 years ago, we said, let's do it this week. So we got the team on, we did a rally call. We talked about us all rallying behind Ashley and pushing volume to drive it that week. Let me tell you the power of our company. Our company got behind it, wanted it to happen this week, the week that it happened. Not only that, we had cross-line people calling. Listen to this. It's unheard of in our industry. If you want to know the culture of our company, we had cross-line people like Tracy Turnberg, Todd, Rowland, Chris Doyle, Sandy McFarland, and a lot of others calling up, David Daughtry going, hey, what can I do? Where can I place an order? What can I do? I'll place an order over there to help her reach that $10,000 bonus. That is special. That is special in a culture. So, Ashley, I think the biggest thing this morning is you know, you just sharing what obviously from a team aspect. I mean, what does this mean for you?
You muted, Ash.
There we go. I'm here. Good morning. Good morning. My goodness. Super excited to be here with you all this morning and just sharing a little bit. The last few weeks is hard to even put into words, right? I told Kristal and Brent last week, I said, I think I've felt every emotion possible. And I truly have. It's been a crazy week, but it has been such a blessing. And so receiving this $10,000 bonus is something that I've had my eye on. I saw Kim Gray hit it, right? It's one of those things where you see people achieving it and you see people getting to that goal and you're like, if they can do it, so can Ashley Paulsen. So can Diane Maxwell. So can Eva Marie, right? It's one of those things where you, even through the trying times and what life brings, it's still doing the day-to-day stuff. And so still doing that income producing activity, right, Todd, that moves the needle along, but it helps you and your team grow, right? Life is going to hit you square in the forehead, but it's still continuing those days. And so really, just like I said, it was our team rallying together. And a lot of times we get to a goal and it most definitely is a team win, right? That's something beautiful about what we have. But it's the team that rallied behind it, right? And it's just like Kristal said, it's amazing what someone will do for someone else rather than what you'll do for yourself. And that's just a good reminder, I think, every day is that, you know, whether you're going towards a team goal, but what is your personal goal every day? What is your personal goal every week? What is your personal goal every month? Right? And so that was definitely, I saw Kim Gray hit that $10,000 bonus and I'm like, that's my next goal. I'm running towards it. And every single week in your dashboard, in your back office, you see that money and you see that money going into your savings account. And I was like, I'm getting close. I'm getting close. And finally I told Kristal, and she's like, we're running hard that same week of, the end of June when your mom had passed. She's like, we're going to hit it that week. And that was something that was special to me, but every single person on my team was a part of that. They were a part of being with that specialness. And that's something that, like I said, I can't even put into words. I'm super grateful, super, super blessed, but it's a journey, right? And I'm excited. I don't know. It's just incredible. And I'm super excited just for the team and what we have going on now. But not taking your foot off the gas once you reach that goal, right? I just had a 2-hour call with Kristal yesterday on Zoom. We game planned, we did different stuff. And she's like, right, it's going to that next step. It's not stopping. And just what we have here with Partner Co, like Brent said, the company, the community we have, the culture, everyone's rooting for you too. And so hit those goals and do the day-to-day to get there. So.
Yeah.
Ashley, we are all just so proud of you. It is, Brent told me last night that it was not just your extra $10,000 that came in your check Friday, but your check outside of that was a record check within itself. So,
Yep.
I mean, so that makes the total check yesterday way up there, a whole lot more than they paid me for coaching high school football. I can promise you that. Probably you got 6 months salary for about compared to what I made coaching. Go ahead, Brent, you're muted, I think.
Todd, let me say this before we roll to the next guest on Ashley's behalf. I want everybody to understand, if you look through the chats, you see everybody congratulating Ashley. It's because they know her. And the way they know her is at events. We've got one of our biggest events, our first ever Partner Co event coming up in Orlando, and we want to know you. Like we want to experience you there at this event. And so Ashley has been there. She's exchanged numbers with people over time. And so now you got a whole cross-line company, whether they're in her business or not, that is supporting her, that's recognizing her, that's calling her, that's asking her, hey, what can we do to help? All because she's went out and networked within the company at events. And Todd, I think that's super powerful. And I know that's one thing you were going to touch on is our event coming up in Orlando.
Orlando is going to be huge. I would encourage you, maybe even during the call, just to pop over there. When you land on our main site now, they've got the ticket sales up. It's right in your shopping cart. They're $99 a piece. Get them booked. And Anthony, do you know, did the drop of rooms ever drop? Do we have that block ready for everybody to start ordering?
It's up.
It's
Okay.
It's up. I definitely let everybody know that room block filled up within about 30 minutes. Within about 30 minutes, everybody had booked all the rooms in the company. So they actually went back and they're working on some more rooms right now. So just a heads up. So just be on the lookout for you be able to get some more room. But I'll still drop the link in the chat right now.
And fantastic rates for that hotel, Todd. $199, which is crazy for that location.
So that now moves us into our special guest. By the way, if you are new in our company, many of you got an extra check that you're not aware of. It went into your partner. If you go under My Money in your back office under Partner Co rewards, you're going to see a dump that landed in there. It comes off the first 26 weeks. We do not have time to train on it today. I would tell you, don't use it. Let it sit there because that's what you can pay for your North American free vacations with. You can also use it for product vouchers. We'll train on that next Saturday, but it is in there for everybody who wants to go and check. I know that we had a couple of people yesterday get 5,000 or 6,000 that didn't even know it existed. So it's a good thing when you wake up to an extra 5,000, and jobs don't usually let you wake up to that. And we're getting ready now to talk to a couple that have come to our company. When you get a company that is now out of 10,000 companies in the world ranked #1 in momentum, when you have products that are as high of quality as Partner Co products are, and you've got a compensation plan that is ranked #1 in payout of any company that exists out of 10,000 companies, you start attracting the mega people, the ones that started just like we all started with a dream of doing a little better, but that have actually made it in this industry and have lived a lifetime of time freedom, tons of money, able to make choices based upon what they want to do instead of what they can afford. Gregg and Lenika, we are so excited to have you here in Partner Co. And we're so excited you're here with us. So I'm going to unshare my screen, let you guys come on. If you don't mind, a lot of us are going to get to know you for the first time today. So if you could take us all the way back to the start of what you guys were doing before you got involved in the industry, and then what led you coming to Partner Co.
Well, thank you guys. Look, first of all, thank you so much for having us, Todd, Brent, Anthony, all of you guys. Listen, just coming up here, feeling the energy of the team, you know, the savings bonus that was awarded, man, that's huge right there. We love it, guys. We love everything that we've seen here in Partner Co. And you know, it's just a community of love and fun, which is the type of culture that we absolutely love to be a part of.
Hey, y'all, I'm tired. I am exhausted. We had 50 people at our house last night. I had to cook, clean, and talk to them about this amazing company. So look, I just got out of the bed. I sent Anthony a message. I'm like, oh my God, that's right. We got to see you guys today. And congratulations, Ashley. I tell you, it is such refreshing, you know, just to get on here with you guys and just hear, you know, it's always just so good just to meet and connect with good people. One of the things that I really can, you know, say before we, you know, take you back to the story is that it's just been such a beautiful thing to come here in a company. And we've been excited, you know, about our arrival here, but the way that you guys have just accepted us, you know, even having not even seen us face to face, you know, on social media, that goes a long way. It really does go a long way. And I was like, we really are home. We really are home. But my husband and I, we have been blessed with 6 girls. And
wait. So you asked why? That's why.
So 6 cheering, y'all. So we got 6 girls. And back in 2007, baby number 5 hit, and most of my income was going to daycare. So we had 3 children in daycare, 2 latchkey kids. And I always was like, it's something else, you know, that we can do. And so Gregg was always supportive, but I got started in this industry of direct sales. And I just was like, we're gonna really just go all out and go for it. And within the first year of really getting in, you know, the business, of course, it was another company, right? Back then, we hit our first 6 figures of the industry. And then that company went through some changes, as you know, several companies do. They just go through changes at times. And then we was kind of finding our way, you know, like, what are we gonna do? And then 2013, another company came our way, and we were a part of the founding family team. And we helped take that company from 10 million to 150 million in 15 months. 15 months. So everything was wild. We stayed at that company for 9.5 years. So that was where we just left, right? But you guys, for those of you who are on here, and it's like, what's the secret? Like, talk to me about some secrets. There, like, it's what your leaders have already told you. Like, within the first 5 minutes of getting up here, the leaders already set the foundation. I heard income producing activities. This industry is a retail recruit residual model. Like, so if you're not talking to people about the products, or maybe I shouldn't have gone into training. Y'all wanted to know my story. Y'all, I'm tired. All right, so let me get a little bit back to the story right before I just start teaching y'all what y'all already know, or sharing some of those things, right? So we just really did help people. We did a lot of helping people, helping our leaders, helping our people getting there, showing up, home parties, right? And in that particular company, Gregg and I and our partners, we did over 40 million in income, not sales. We helped take the company to doing a few billion in sales. But it, you know, of course, it came with a lot of work. We had a lot of fun. We met a lot of people. We traveled a lot. We were able to do a lot, real estate investments and so forth. So we're really thankful for Partner Co. Again, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I thought you were pausing. I was just going to say that I get asked all the time what the secret is. And I said, it all starts with desire. So you identified that immediately when you said you had 6 girls. I have four kids, but 3 of them are boys. I cannot imagine the cost and the agony of a father of 6 girls. I admire you even more, Greg.
Thank you.
Even more. So the why and the desire was established right there.
Yeah.
But just like when I coach football, everybody doesn't show up as a freshman with the same talent level, but many people can get in that weight room and work for 4 or 5 years. And by the time they're seniors, catch up with the kids that were ahead of them. So that's what our industry provides. But everybody, I always say, does talent matter? It absolutely matters. And we know when we recruit talented people, but it's got nothing to do with success until later on, because talent can be developed. But you guys, so I want to know, were y'all this talented before you came in the industry? Or has this been a growth process that you've become who I now see on social media? Because y'all are amazing.
Listen, hold on. Listen, Todd, I came out of the womb talented. No, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding.
Listen, guys. So first, you see that my wife can talk, right? So that right there is part of the talent. But no. So I, Lenika started the story back in 2007, but it was 10 years even prior to that where she was kind of cutting her teeth in this industry. So it's been well over 20 years for us. But the thing about it is you don't come into anything new knowing everything, right? Now you have your own personality, you have your own charisma, you have those different things going for you, the gifts that you got, right? But you bring those to the table with you. And when you come into something new, which it was new to us back then, right? When you come into something new, now you have to learn what that new thing is and what makes it tick. And if even in that, I can offer a tip to anybody up here is give yourself a chance. You know, a lot of times we come in and we see a person's now, but we don't see their yesterday, right? But we went through those seasons of trials and tribulations. And even when we found success in this industry back in 2008 and 9 and 10, it was through that prior 10 years of cutting our teeth. But even when we found a success then, and I tell everybody this, and I tell it proudly, we were green, right? We brought who we were to the table, but, and even then we were having meetings with people of 500 in the room. And we thought that was like a norm until we got with people and they was like, no, that's not the norm. Right. And we was like,
our success
okay.
line was looking at us like, all of these people in the room, like this is, and we're looking at her like, yeah, we just invited people.
We just invited people, right? And but that wasn't the norm. And so, you know, even then we were able to excel in that company. Lenika told you we were able to excel in the second company, but this is something that my brother says, even with us starting here with Partner Code, is we're not starting from scratch now. We're starting from experience. So being able to come into this company and doing the things that have been done so far, it is because of the experience. And that's 20 plus years of experience.
Yeah, it is.
Can I ask one more question on that particular part? Because I don't want to leave it, because I think this is really, really important. Well, all of us, Chris, Brent's been full-time for a decade, the rest of Dr. Kristal, and Ken and Chris and I, we've all been full-time 20 years in the industry. And I tell everybody that asks me right now, Partner Co is the unicorn that we've all been searching for 20 years. Like,
it is.
Can you expand on why you've chosen this company? What pulled you guys here and made you feel like this was now your home for life?
Yeah. Well, look, I'll start off with that, right? So even, you know, we launched on May 6th, but prior to May 6th, Lenika and I hopped on a plane and we went to Puerto Rico. You know, you don't be in an industry like this and you don't see the good and the bad of the industry, right? And I mean, truth be known, network marketing has its own stigma, but it has that because there is some bad out here too. So we had talked with Darren and John over the phone, had met with them video conferencing, but it was important for me to be able to see them face to face, eye to eye, because that's who I am. I really believe you don't know a person until you can sit down and have an eye to eye conversation with them and break bread with them. And the thing about it is Lenika and I, we've always led with integrity and character, because those two things will put you in rooms that money can't, right? So it was important for me to make sure that their talk matched their walk, right? Their walk matched their talk. So we jumped on the plane, we went to Puerto Rico, we met with them. But as I sat with them, I watched, and it wasn't about what everybody was saying, but it was about what they were doing. I watched how they interacted with their wife because their wives and their kids were present. I watched how they interacted with their kids. I saw how they treated them. And I was like, okay, these guys are the real deal.
Yep.
Right. So what helped, that's part of what helped me make that decision. But it was also the fact that these products that we have, we've seen some of the bad in this industry, right? But these products are tried and they are true. They got a 20+ year history. They're backed by studies. I mean, we have testimonies out the wazoo. This was a product that back 20 years ago was creating $1 million earners, right? So we know it's real products, right? So we've got that piece. Then we looked at the fact that this compensation plan with this company is incredible. We've seen front-loaded comp plans. We've seen back-heavy comp plans, but this comp plan is built for the masses. And so when we saw that, it's not just the few making money,
Right.
but it's money spread across everybody. So those were kind of some of the ingredients that went into our decision to come over here to Partner Co, guys. And I'm telling you, this company is that unicorn that we have been looking for the last 20+ years.
Yeah. One of our $1 million earners, one of the ladies that we helped, get to $1 million, she earned $6 million under us in our last deal. When, one of the things that she kept saying was, girl, this is a diamond in the rough. And I said, it is. Now, another thing that I will say, Todd, is we are faith, we're marketplace ministers, right? So I could feel, in my spirit, I could feel such a stirring. And I was like, what is it, with this thing, right? And then when we went to Puerto Rico and we met the founders, because we had connected with them on Zoom, and when we met the founders, we said this is something different. Like literally, y'all, we got off the plane. John picked us up, took us straight to the place for us to have dinner with Darren, his wife, and children. Like, that's not normal behavior, right? And so just the conversation was just so different. It was just refreshing. It felt right. I said, this is something special. So then we didn't even realize like the amount of distributors was a part of the company, right? And how we really could do something significant, right? Even in the United States market. But then when we started taking the products, so like they did ship us some products, we start taking the products, we was like, this stuff is the bomb. Like these products are amazing, right? Like they are very solid products. It's not just things that are just packaged, right? Just for the sake of making money, right? Selling it to people. Like, we're like, these products are products that work. One of the things that we say in our team, I want you to write this down, right? You can use it for a presentation or you're trying to get somebody in a business. But when you have a product like that your child can take, and the grandmama too, right? The mom. So you have something that because and what we're seeing too, even in this industry, there's a rise of different companies, but the products really are not great products, right? You have to have great products. But if you got a products where your child can take, but then even your mother or your grandmother can take, or granddaddy, right? Then you have something very special, because wealth is generated when you provide a solution to the problem, right? And if you can provide a problem, if you can provide the solution to problems, right, with children all the way on up to, people 80, 90 years old, then you got something good. Another thing too, again, as Gregg mentioned, was the compensation plan, right? The compensation plan, weekly payout, that was also good. But we did not even realize that this was a unicorn. I'm gonna be honest, until we felt like a spiritual drawing to this company, right? That was one of the main reasons why we said yes. It wasn't until the layers started to unveil about what Partner Co was about, the 5-day miracle, and the people that were in, and the communities that have been built. We were like, oh no, we're gonna fit right in really good. And of course, it's just been refreshing.
Lenika,
I didn't have a good name for it. I just always said it was heaven sent that John and Darren showed up and bought this. It was heaven sent for our company and for everybody that was a part of some of these merged companies beforehand. But for our company, I mean, they've got now a plus $400 million company with no debt, with these quality products that have licenses around the world. I mean, when we talk about a unicorn, there's so many things involved. Go ahead.
You know, I just was agreeing. It is, because we didn't find that part out, which you just said. We had already joined. We were like, what? I think Greg T was sharing that information with us a week after we joined.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a company that's already established in all of these markets. You know, we've seen in this industry those companies that are in the middle of their growth, but they're not established on the international markets. And so now they have you. I mean, we've seen people taking products across the border in suitcases and different things like that. And you don't want to get into that kind of game, right? But we've seen it. And we've seen companies that they tell you they're going to set up a market and they don't, you know. And so now you got a whole team of people in another market, and they may get their products, they may get paid, or they may not. So being able to be here now, and they have a network established around the world. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And here in the United States, Lenika, you hit on it a little bit. We don't have 10 great meetings running in the United States right now. You're talking about partner.co hasn't even started, but yet they're 400 million in revenue with 100 products and patents and licensed in almost 60 countries. It's a unicorn. It's an impossibility.
It is. And the history is getting ready to be made in September with that new PartnerCo Experience 23 event. So it's going to be incredible. And just to be able to be in the house, because this is relationship marketing.
Yes.
And the way that Lenika and I have always built, and it's based on who we are, is it doesn't matter if you sideline, upline, downline, we get to know you and we all work together for the betterment of the company, because as the company grows, we all grow.
That's right.
Hey, Greg.
Can you talk a little bit about the big events, like the importance of them?
Hey, Coach, can I say something just on those lines, Greg and Lenika? Speaking of cross line, sideline, we've said something for a long time now, and I know it was the case when the Limu company came on board. Everybody just embraced us and we felt a calling. But how unique is it for a company to blur the lines of sponsorship, like cross line, sideline, downline, everybody helping each other? When we talk about momentum, like I mean, you've been around the industry, you've seen other companies. How unique is that? I know you've got an event coming up in Memphis, Tennessee, I'll actually be at next weekend, but you've opened the door, you've opened the invitation. And so how unique is it to have a company that blurs that line and just everybody supporting each other?
No, it's very unique. In this industry, a lot of people build based on competition with each other, right? But even in the last company Lenika and I were in, it wasn't about competition. It was about building a community. And it was a community of, I am my brother's keeper, I am my sister's keeper. And that's how we've always approached it. And when you build a community like that, right, then everybody feels that they are important. Everybody feels a part. But when you build it based on competition, then you make people have that feeling of inadequacy.
Yeah.
Right. So being here now and knowing that this is that space where who we are, we really can flourish in that, because it's also who the company is. Right. This is going to be so huge, man. And part of our team and our makeup is Lenika and I, we know our roles and we know our lanes, so we don't be crossing each other, because people ask, how can a husband and wife work together? Right. We get that question. But in our team, you know, I'm that strategist.
With a lot of prayer, okay?
Yeah, with a lot of prayer. But I'm the strategist, and I'm always looking 6 months, 1 year, 2 years down the line. And I already see 6 months from now, we're going to be barely keeping up. A year from now, it is going to be absolutely crazy on the track and the path that we're on. And when you get to that kind of growth and it's built with the right principles, there's no limit to how far you can go.
Good.
And how much has y'all's lives changed because of this industry?
Oh my God.
Compared to what it would have been without residual income?
So so part of our story is from food stamps to millions. So Greg, his job was, you know, he was earning about 6 figures a year. And we were a part of the company at first when we hit our first 6 figures, and then he left the job. And so now we're together, right? Working together. And then everything just broke loose, right? And we lost everything, right? And so then when we got restored, which with the other company, we hit a millionaire status. So we became millionaires in 2015, right? So from 2015 up until 2023, which, you know, now, we had earned in income, right? 6 figures a month. Sometimes, y'all, we saw like 6-figure weeks in our checks. So how did it change? Like, I was able to go shopping more. No, just wait. But we were able to just give back so much. Like, you know, I was able to buy my sister a home. We were able to buy my grandmother a home. She transitioned, so I got other family members living in there. We were able to get properties like for our first couple of children. But then we traveled, like we went to Santorini, Greece, Paris, we went to South Africa. And really, you know, coming from, because I was also a girl who like was raised in poverty. Like my mom was a single mom. That's one of the reasons why I love, you know, helping and pushing single moms. My mom was a single mom, but we did not have a lot, right? So lack, right? It didn't feel good. So when we were able to be blessed because of this industry, it just really changed so much, and just even our viewpoint. And so now being able to even go to the grocery store, things like going to the grocery store, swiping your card without having to call the phone, the bank to see how much is in the account, you know, before you do it, was just amazing. Being able to give to churches, communities. Greg's mom, she opened up a community center, which is the first community center in the town that they grew up in. We were able to buy the building, right? She didn't ask us to do it, but we were, you know, Gregg was like, Mom, we can do this, right? So just being able to give back, travel, see the world, not really have to worry about in terms of financial struggle, stress, debt. It has been incredible. But, you know, I will say this too. You all, it's a process, you know, for every one of you all on here, it's a process. When we got up here, I believe someone was mentioning goals. It could have been Ashley, I'm not sure, but set goals. Last night when we had our team training, I told them, I said, set some small goals, right? Because we all need small wins. The small wins lead to the big wins. Set some big goals, right? Long-term goals, but then also set some stretch goals. And so along our journey, right, those were some of the things that we would do. We would set goals, look at the goals, you know, and then also talk to our team, you know, even about the goals that they have. We've always been huge believers that if you help the people get what they want, God will help you get what you want. And that's something that he said to me back in 2014. He said, if you help the people get a check, then I'm going to bless your check. And I know that sometimes it seems kind of like so simple, but it really is the principle. Simple. So being able to see people grow, help people, see people's lives change also has been a blessing, you know, throughout our journey in this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, as we were even coming through, right? I like to say coming through the ranks and kind of understanding this industry. You know, when we did back in 2011, right? That was since we've been married, we got married in 1995, right? We're gonna tell our age, right? But we got married in 1995, but 2011 was our worst financial year that we had ever seen. And we did end up on food stamps. But it was even through that process that we felt like God was taking us even to a deeper level of understanding, right? So when we did come out of that, one of the things that we lead with is we will leave an inheritance and not a bill. You know, so many times we have our loved ones pass on and we're raising money to bury them and different things like that. But we teach people the principles of financial freedom. We lead with the principles of financial freedom. And even this home that we're living in was paid for with network marketing, and it was paid for debt free. We built this house from the ground up. And by the time the last brick went in, the house was completely paid for, but it was done with this industry. right? So,
Yeah.
so we teach people how to live those freedoms
Yeah.
and move towards those freedoms of debt freedom. And now we want to start the building, putting together the building blocks for that financial freedom and that inheritance that you want to be leaving for your children and your children's children.
Well, guys, just so you'll know, you can always tell, we've been doing these for so many years, you can always tell how good your guest is by participants dropping or growing. So since y'all been talking, you've added about another 30 participants. That means everybody's calling their downline to get on here to hear you guys. We got to go a little bit longer because there's some people showing up. But listen, you've said some real nuggets. I always say, no matter how long I do this, every time I listen to somebody, I hear something new. But you said we do three things in our industry. We retail, we recruit, and we create residual income. Can you expand any on that, like for the ones that are all kind of in the growth phase, for us to understand how to do each one of those?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're talking, our whole training is built on the 3 R's of this industry: retail, recruit, residual. If you're not flowing in those lanes right there, then you're not building the business, you're building out.
Let me grab a product.
Oh, she's going to work. But if you're not flowing in one of those lanes, then you haven't taken it serious to actually move forward in this industry.
So basically, y'all gotta do this. Y'all gotta sell some stuff, okay? Talk to everybody in your cell phone. Let them know that you got some products that can help them, right? And you want their support, so you gotta and be a product of the product. You know, y'all get the videos out, have fun, drink the product, take the product in front of the people, right? Ask for referrals. Your customers that you already got, they got friends and family that you don't even know their names, right? Get referrals. So one of the things that I loved about Partner Co when we came here, I said, because I'm a recruiter, you guys. We build organizations. I'm the recruiter of the team. But I said, I am going to retail, right? And I've been selling, and it's just been so invigorating. It's been so fun. But sell the product. I think somebody said income producing activities. What is that? That is when you are intentionally introducing people to the products that it is that you have in your house, right? In your pantry, pull them products out, talk about them, go live, do small videos, TikTok stories about the products, right? Sell and push the products, right? And then what happens is, as you are intentional about selling these products and pushing the products, right, to people, retailing them, a certain of those individuals, if you make connections and build relationships with them, then they're gonna say, well, gosh, how much does this sell for? How much commission do you get? When they start asking you the questions, and as you're making connections with them, they're gonna want to join the team. They're gonna be interested. You know, a lot of us don't really recruit too, because we're not letting people know that we're in business, right? Last night, I told the people here too, I said, some of you guys who are not recruiting, if you believe that you can recruit, then you're going to recruit, right? So recruiting is also a belief base, but your business, your volume, your foundation is built by you retailing the products, and you also bringing people into it. And if you have enough people coming through your funnel, new people where you're introducing to these products, people will join your team. And then of course, as time progresses, that's how the residual is built up, right? The monthly commitment, the monthly subscription, people that you are helping to do both retailing and also recruiting.
Yeah, it's important that, you know, when you are operating in this realm, in this industry, a lot of people, they take on that stigma of network marketing, and they don't let people know that they are in network marketing and direct sales. And so they go MIA, and they're hiding, trying to do a business in which you have to be present and visible to actually do. So we tell people, you have to, number one, be confident in what you have, who you are, and what you're doing. Be confident in that and present that with confidence. And even when we're saying present it with confidence, you're presenting it in your everyday life. You're talking about it in your everyday life. It's not you going out here just doing this overwhelming effort or something extra, but you're taking it with you to work. You're taking it with you when you're mingling with friends. You're taking it with you, and this is what you do. It doesn't, and I'll leave this last part. It doesn't matter what my friends say, my family say. I'm so incredibly focused on where I'm going then I'm confident, and I'm confident with a smile, right? So now when I'm out here presenting these products, I'm retailing these products. People are interested in these products. And even for those people that have a hard time recruiting, the products can help become the foundation for the trust and the relationship building that you're doing, which is going to help you recruit. So it's like a retail to recruit model, which is then going to help build that residual. And in that residual, you have the different strategies of building.
And I'll just say one thing to everybody that's struggling with even just retail. The products are so amazing, right? It's selfish for you not to share them with others. So, so there you have that.
Anthony, you were responsible for getting Gregg and Lenika to commit this morning after their big party last night. Thank you, Anthony. And, Anthony's been helping run this call now ever since he arrived at the company. So Anthony, I know you've got a couple questions for Gregg and Lenika.
Well, I actually didn't have any questions. You asked all of them, but I did want everybody to know they are doing a Super Saturday in Memphis, Tennessee next Saturday. Brent mentioned it. You will see. I'm about to share my screen and show everybody. But also, there's a link. All you have to do is register. Guests are free. Yeah. Of course, you know, all the brand partners is just to pay for the event and all the swag and everything that's coming that they're doing. But take a screenshot of this. The link will be in the comments here in just a second. But be there. And then also not only just
they're right across the street from Elvis. So if you've never seen Elvis's place, you get to go to Elvis the same day.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that myself.
So this event is Super Saturday next Saturday in Memphis, Tennessee. And then also Brent mentioned the Super Saturday going on next month and also Jackson, Tennessee, hosted really by Doyle and the amazing leaders in that area in Jackson, Tennessee. It's kind of funny not saying Chris is going to host it, but Chris, your daughter is taking over. So it's an amazing thing. But hey, take a screenshot of this, be at this event. But that's really my question.
And Anthony, do you happen to have a link available for? Because I was going to end with Lenika talking a little bit about being a best-selling author, and let's get her book out there that she just released not that long ago. So Anthony, I think you've got the link. So Lenika, tell us about your newest book.
Yeah, so my newest book is called Supernatural Wealth Transfer. I am a Christian author, and the book goes into really like what are some of the biblical principles that it takes to get to a wealthy place, your wealthy land. I do share a lot of our testimonies in our story, but it really is a book that is based on biblical principles. And that book can be found on Amazon under my name, Lenika Scott, and Supernatural Wealth Transfer.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Y'all are amazing, even better than advertised. So we got about 7-8 minutes left. We'll just go around the horn real quick because I know everybody probably has one last thing they want to sneak out of y'all's mind while we've got you for 30 minutes.
Gregg and Lenika, this is Ken Bailey. I'm over in Greensboro, North Carolina. So we're neighbors.
Wow.
So,
wow. Yeah, that's like an hour, I think, away from us.
Yeah, and I had a couple questions about why you joined, but you covered all that so perfectly, and so did Todd. And Brent was talking about blurring the lines of sponsorship and all that kind of stuff. Even though we do that, let's you and I partner together and make North Carolina the top state so that Todd in Florida and Brent in Alabama, Chris in Tennessee, they're all playing for second place.
Hey, look, sound like a plan.
Yes, okay.
And by the way, folks, Gregg and Lenika are #1 power rankers, not just in the United States, in the world. Think about that, guys. Way to go, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And look, it was a blessing to be able to do that when we talked to Greg Tedrow and he was telling us, you guys are #1. We were #2. And then all of a sudden we were #1 and we were like,
okay. Oh, really?
What does it mean?
We're sad. We just ain't getting no sleep around here. That's all we know.
Y'all are going to be one of those that got about an extra 5,000 or 6,000 or 7,000 yesterday that may not know about it yet. So make sure when we get off of this, if you're not aware, go to your partner co reward dollars and they've been dumped in. And whatever that number is, it's 1%.
Wow.
Nice.
And Todd and Ashley Rowland are #3 or 4 in the world, folks, of all everybody. So
oh my God. Congratulations. Nice. I love it. I love
Congratulations.
The Brent, Kristal, Chris,
Well, I was gonna say, I love that she's holding up the limu. You know, that's always gonna be awesome to me. What my question was gonna be when you guys came here and you were looking at all of the products, this is just the inquiring minds want to know, like,
Yeah.
what was the favorite products that you guys were like, ooh, what are you fighting over in your house?
So for the Limu, right? For my Limu people, our daughter, they're like, she drinks this stuff all the time.
Like Kool-Aid, right?
I'm looking for, but now for this one, of course, for those of you who've really been following us, we pushing this, and we said we would be the team to bring the noni back, right? I felt the spiritual stirring over this particular product, that we take all of the other products, right? But not all 150, but we take most of the other products. But we started to push the noni because we felt like a spiritual drawn to get that out there, but we take them all.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Brent? Anything from you, Brent?
Yeah,
You got something. I see you about to bust.
Well, I am. It's really exciting, and I hope everybody can feel it on the call. Like I always say, birds of a feather flock together.
Yes.
And there's so many things. What's the number? I mean, greed and ego is what kills companies in this
That's
industry.
it.
It's what kills leadership in this industry.
Come on.
You know, and when you start to see a couple like, you know, you two come to our company, it's like, oh yeah, another bird of the same feather, you know, and you start feeling this community, this upbringing that's going to attract more and more of those people, because so many people around the United States and globally are looking for a home. They're looking for a place to land. They're looking, you know, they're looking for something that feels right, like Lenika said. And if our mouth is open, our shop is open. Like if we're out sharing in North Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee, like, you know, and sometimes you know, me and Todd talked about it the other day. Sometimes you got to go back, and Lenika and Gregg, you both said it, but you got to go back and make small goals, you know, and sometimes you got to go back and go, you know what? I hadn't retail sell. I hadn't sold products in forever, or maybe you've never sold. But you know what? I can promise you this, somebody that's made over $100 million of revenue in this industry or income in this industry, if they can retail sell, if they can sell products, ladies and gentlemen, that's a clue. That is a clue. So thank you for your leadership. We thank God that you guys chose Partner Co. And we're excited about the future. And I can't wait for the training next week.
Yeah, and Chris, before you close it out, just make sure, I'm headed to do it right now, but Lenika, one more time, the name of your book, Supernatural.
Yes. Supernatural Wealth Transfer on Amazon. If you type in Lenika Scott, I've written 2 books that are on Amazon, but that was the latest book, Supernatural Wealth Transfer. My other book is a book on angels. It's just a whole nother conversation, y'all.
So just so you'll know, the one thing that we've learned in this industry, because my story paralleled you guys. I had 4 kids. I was qualified for food stamps with a master's degree coaching high school football, but my wife was home with the kids, and coaches don't. Arkansas, we always are compete with Mississippi for trying to pay the teachers the lowest. So I started the same place, and you've got to find a vehicle, but what changes finances is the mind.
That's it.
So the one thing I learned about a year into this industry is when I find somebody that's where I want to be, I want to know everything their mind thinks. So I encourage you, go get Lenika's book, Supernatural Wealth Transfer, and learn how to make your brain think that way. I'll be ordering it the second we get off of here. So thank you guys so much for hopping on this call with us this morning. We cannot wait to work with you around the world and build an empire.
Yes, because we in this thing for the long haul, y'all.
Yeah.
Guys, and I will see y'all next Saturday too. I'm not far from Memphis, so I'll be over there as well. But I want to add something. I hope everybody got one thing. I got a nugget out of this I thought was amazing. If you really think about it, how we started, Dr. Kristal was almost emotional talking about Ashley Paulsen, not because Kristal got something, because her rep got something.
That's
someone she wanted, someone she cared about. And so what did they start out their conversation with? They started out talking about how they wanted to get their team checks. They didn't talk about their checks. They talked about getting someone else's checks. And if there's anything that you've noticed about people that do really well in our industry, And I got a bunch of people on this call that always say, why my business not working? Well, they keep looking at their checks. Guys, if you want to know how to get your checks moving, I saw so much emotion in Kristal's face. She took the emotion out for Ashley, but you could see it. I could see it in Brent. And then I saw it. And then what is the leadership showing you here? See, I already know Todd Rowland's heart. Everything. See, he told for yesterday, all he was doing was sending me texts of people whose checks were up. He didn't mention his check. I know his check was up, but what he was talking about. So if you want to know this, somebody said, what is the secret? Forget what you're making, see what your team's making. And that's what I heard from them today. I hope y'all get that from home. Guys, dang, y'all gonna make me unretired. I don't want to. I'm enjoying it now. And all these fired up people, I'm like sitting here chomping, and I'm thinking, okay, what I got next Saturday? I guess I'm gonna be in Memphis, Tennessee, and I don't even like to drive toward Memphis. I don't even have to drive 70 miles, but I'm like, okay, what time's next Saturday? I guess I'm gonna have to be over there and meet these people in person. So, and we'll come by and see if Elvis is still alive or not. I don't know. But guys,
we can find out the truth, right?
Yeah.
we're gonna find out the truth. You know, I love it. So, guys, what a great morning. Anybody want to add something? Kristal, Brent, Anthony, Todd. I mean, great morning. Thank you. I know why you're top earners, because I can see in your heart how much you care about your people. You can't fake that. I mean that. You can't fake that.
And look, guys, it was exciting meeting all of you guys. And real quick before we close this thing out is, Chris, you hit it on the head. Lenika and I, at the beginning of this year, we were leaving, right? And we were going to go do something else. And it's because we've seen some of the bad in this industry, but God said, we're not done here yet.
Yeah.
Right. And then here comes Partner Cup.
Yeah.
So, and that's getting into another whole story about some of this and how it led up to this, guys. But this has definitely been a breath of fresh air, and this is that unicorn. So even if you're in this thing and you really haven't put your feet, you haven't really submerged in the water yet, you're just sticking your big toe in, I encourage all of you, dive in full speed. Let's go ahead and do this thing, because this is going to be exciting.
Yes, go all in. We got to get ready to leave. Right. We got another call, but go all in. Get in it with your heart. Go all out and show people around you that you are serious. Go all out. Yeah. So thank y'all so much.
Both of these videos will be up on Anthony Moreland's YouTube channel. We cut them in half, so there'll be one with Ashley Paulsen and one with Gregg and Lenika for you to share with your teams. Everybody have a super blessed week.
God bless.
Open it up, everybody. Thank you, guys.